Hey, Steph, man, first and foremost, bro, thanks for just giving us this time and joining us at this crazy time, man. Like, how are you spending your time right now, fam?
I mean, my life is pretty regular right now. I'm basically going to practice, and then after practice, I'm home, or I'm having meetings with the team or the owners or the leaders of the team. I mean, it's pretty relaxed and regular as normal.
I see a lot of stuff that you're posting on social media and various sites, and I reposted one of the things that you had sent as well on my Twitter, and just how are things in China right now?
I mean, things in China are normal. They're still, um, they're still alarmed from what's going on globally because a lot of the cases that have come back into China have been from um, international cases. It hasn't really been people from China where you're seeing the numbers rise. So they've been really conscious of the people that's been coming back. Um, but it's been pretty normal. The restaurants are open. People are going back to work. I think the way how they handled it and jumping on it at the beginning, that was the most important part. I think from the perspective from where I see it, anytime you have something that goes on like this, it comes down to experience. And China has had the experience when they dealt with SARS. So when they dealt with SARS, they built fever clinics, they built these platforms where they were able to take care of the people in a way that other countries may have not been able to take care of because they were experienced a problem like this before. So, I think now in this time when something like this happens, they're so much more prepared because of them having that experience.
You speak of experience and jumping ahead of the problem initially. When
Mm.
did you notice that there was a problem with this coronavirus there based in China?
I mean, I was here when it first started in January. We played our last game January 21st, and I came, during that time, um, they started speaking about there was a virus going on in Wuhan and that it was, contagious. They didn't learn that it was going from person to person, that it was transferable from person to person days later. Um, but I had left. And when I had left on the 22nd, I left with plans of leaving for Chinese New Year's. My son's birthday is on the 22nd of January. So I had made plans to leave months before. And when I got home, it blew up. 23rd, 24th, 25th, it went wild as far as what was going on here and how people were speaking and talking about what was happening. Um, and I mean, I pretty much was following it from that time from when I was here. Because when I was here during the game, we had our last game before Chinese New Year's. Everyone had on masks at the game. It was like, I mean, I've witnessed seeing people wear masks before, but it's a little different when the whole arena has on a mask.
It's
So I
crazy.
knew that there was definitely something going on and there was something wrong. But seeing that and recognizing that there was something wrong when I left, I knew that there was a issue and there was a problem going on. So when I got back to America, I stayed in tune every day and what was going on, following the news, looking on my Weibo, um, and keeping up to date with my friends and people that I've grown close to here.
Well, you touched on the mask and seeing so many individuals wearing the mask at the games and just in passing. You started a mass initiative, I'm hearing.
Not from there. When people when you see people not wearing a mask and you see that that's something that's, vital in America, and how nonchalant people were taking this, it was kind of evident that people weren't informed and they weren't educated enough about what was going on. Um, the Brooklyn Borough president and I, we're close. We have a really good relationship, and we were talking, and that was one of the things that he understood that needed to be sourced. Being that he wasn't here in China and I was here on the ground, it was a lot easier for me to help connect that. So I connected him with people that had access to factories here, and that's how it pretty much started as far as the mask. It wasn't like I said, "Oh, this is something that needs to be done," and I went and created this whole plan to do that. That's not how it was. It was more so of us communicating and us coming up with the idea together, and doing that.
What like and I want you to speak to the viewers, the listeners, everybody that's going to see this, and be authentic as you want. To hold nothing back. What is your
Um,
message to people, bro? What is your message to the people that think that this virus isn't real?
I mean, what I think as far as with people right now, and I think they're just not informed and they're not educated. It's kind of like if you don't know something, you won't take heed to it and you won't look at it in a way where it can be something that can really affect you until you catch it or somebody you love catch it. And then that's when it becomes really real. I think the way how China handled it, it can't be handled the same way everywhere because there's different governments. And because there's different governments, it's always going to be a challenge in how people do things because of the way how the mind is and the way how the mind is used to doing things from how you're governed. I think when people hear me say that we got a lockdown in America, I think they look at it the wrong way when they say, "Oh, you're speaking and talking about how a communist country does things." No, it's not about that because this happens from what they say from past history and trends. Every 100 years, something like this happens, which the Spanish flu was going on. So now in this era in our lives, we're experiencing it. So we're no one is really here to tell us about what went on. And the people that were here that are 100, 102, 103, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, those people that are alive, they were kids, but they can probably remember during that time. So we don't have anyone to actually give us any feedback. All we have is information from past times. So when we look at all of what's happening right now, we got to make sure that we take heed to the people who are in the forefront and who have experienced this and who have done what they've done to get in front of this virus. And China has gotten in front of this virus by experiencing SARS, and for by them experiencing SARS and them going through that and them creating the portal that they created for not only to help people get through this, but to contain the virus is how they basically showed how to actually attack it. And I think when people have a better understanding about what they need to do to try to get in front of it, that's when it's going to start. It's gonna start where we're gonna be able to make the curve drop because the doctors can't make the curve drop. It's only the people that can do that collectively doing it together by doing all of the little things, by staying in the house, by not going out and allowing the system to take charge as far as doing the testing because they say you don't need a mask. When people were saying that you don't need a mask, me personally, I said that's not true. I said there's no way you're gonna tell me everybody in Asia is walking around with a mask on and
Hmm.
they're crazy for doing that. And then they're saying that only the people that are sick. But if you're saying only the people that are sick, need the mask, what about the people who don't know that they got the virus? Because people are walking around right now and they don't have any symptoms and no signs that they're sick. So if they don't have any symptoms or signs that they're sick and they're walking around, they're infecting other people. So if they're infecting other people, that's creating a spread. And if they're creating a spread, then that's how the numbers continue to spike because they don't know. And then 14 days later, they start experiencing the symptoms. See, because it lives inside your body and it takes that amount of time for people to start feeling the symptoms, that's why that's the kind of tricky part. So that's why you got to quarantine. And when you quarantine, if you're in the crib and you're chilling, as those 14 days go down, probably around the 10th, 11th, 12th days, you're gonna start experiencing different symptoms. It may happen at the beginning or it may happen at the end, but you start experiencing it. And if you don't experience it, that's great. Then now your chances of you being infected, it allows you to know, and it allows the government to know that you're one of the people who may test negative. So now you can extract the negatives and the positives from each other. Because you might have a negative and a positive inside the house and they may not even know it
For real.
because they haven't been tested. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you need to do it. But what's happening is because people aren't getting tested, you don't know. So that's why when you say if you don't, the people only that the people that are only sick should have a mask, it doesn't really make sense because you don't know who got it.
That's deep. And you also touched on the fact that sometimes people don't take heed to things unless it impacts them or affects them personally. I
Mm,
know that you was affected personally. A cousin of yours, Daniel Turner, correct?
yes.
Passed away from the virus. Is there anything that you would like to just let the viewers and the listeners know about that?
I mean, we're all, no one is exempt. This virus, it has um, no attachment to your money, your fame, your looks. It's just a virus. And I think personally, I think it's more so for people to start understanding that this is real. It's not fake. It doesn't matter who you are. Anyone can catch this virus. And I think me personally, for me, when I was home, I didn't want to go anywhere. I had no desires to go anywhere. And when I went out, I had a mask on, and people was looking at me like, "Yo, what are you doing? Like, why do you have a mask on?" And I'm like, "Why don't you have a mask on?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like looking at you like, why don't you have a mask on? But it was so early when this was going on, but I was already speaking about it and talking about it, and people thought I was crazy. They was like, "Oh, you bugging, you wilding out. Why would you say that? Why are you telling people that they don't that they should have a mask on?" I'm like, "Well, you should have a mask on. It's a reason why you should have a mask on, and these are the reasons."
That's deep, bro. And I love that you're using your platform to educate. Like every time I follow you on social media, I'm seeing like just lessons, something new, something fresh, something thoughtful, just, letting people know, hey, stay aware, stay woke. This is real. And what you're
Mm.
doing right now, man. So I really appreciate you doing this.
I mean, for me, I'm about people. I'm about. I mean, my mom taught us, at the end of the day, you only got your feelings. That's all you got as a human being. You only got your feelings, and um, I was taught to show love, and that's it. People can think whatever they want to think about me as a basketball player, as a human being. My goal is for all of us to shine. I love kingdom building and seeing queens shine and be what they are. I mean, that's what we are. We kings and queens on this earth. And right now, all of us are being challenged. The kings, the queens, the princesses, and the princes, the prince, we all being challenged in this life. So if we can insert something inside of the mind for them to be mindful. I'm not an expert. I'm just getting the information like everyone else. I'm going a little bit deeper and doing the due diligence so that I can speak in a way where some things could be a little bit more informative for them to be able to think about it and make a different decision.
When you look at the NBA, and now it's on hiatus for some time, and you look at the CBA League, the Chinese Basketball Association, and what they've done, is it anything that the NBA can take from them going forward on how to prepare and deal with this coronavirus?
I mean, I think it's probably a little bit more. It's probably easier for the NBA to be able to have games opposed of for China, even though China will be a little bit more ahead because they dealt with a situation. Um,
Even with the union?
I mean, it's not about that. It's really about the people that have been tested, like because they can fly private and go to the games. China,
Locations,
you got
yeah.
it's domestic. You know what I'm saying? You flying domestically, so it's a little bit different. So that's why they may have an advantage. But what the CBA is planning to do, everybody has to get tested like 4 times before they all can conjugate together. So they're gonna bring everyone. Well, 10 teams will go one place, 10 teams will go another place, but everybody that's involved in playing and that's involved in the games, they all will be tested so that they would know who's okay and who's not. If one person isn't okay, that's the challenge in which what we're doing now. You know, everyone wears a mask, is practice home, practice to the to the dorm or to the hotel to where they live at. I think for the NBA, it's a little challenge because they have to make sure all of the staff is tested. They got to make sure all of the players are good. All of the people that are going to be at the game, the announcers, all of that has to be done before you start. They have the ability to do that, but because of it being so much chaos in America right now, and because so many people are moving so many different ways, and how different cities are dealing with what they're dealing with, no one is thinking about basketball in America. That's not even important right now. The NBA is not important in the minds of people because of the way how this virus is spreading and taking control. So, it's going to be a challenge to play games as it was a challenge for China. But again, because China jumped on it at the beginning and they've done the things that needed to be done because of having experience, it makes things completely different.
Hey, you've always been someone that thought outside the box and had layers to your, layers to you just as an individual. And I got to ask you this question: like when you look at the world as a whole without entertainment, it's scary as hell. Like I've always been focused on just other things and things that's happening around me, and now that entertainment has been taken away from the equation, like the majority of the people are looking at the world for what it is in real time. Like,
Mm.
what what do you think that's been like for a lot of people?
It's been difficult. It's been hard. Um, it's but so many live shows you want to watch. It's but so many live shows you want to do. It's at the end of the day, that's where it really comes down to. People have to learn how to adjust and to be comfortable in an uncomfortable space. And those that are able to do that are the ones that will prosper and will continue to entertain, because entertaining is it comes in all forms and it comes in all ways. It's what you do and how you do it when you're doing it. You have to adjust to the situation. This is our lot. These are this is our life right now. So being that this is our life and this formality and how we're living, it's gonna come down to that. It won't last forever. This too shall pass. It will pass. It's just time and how we do it. And I think it's gonna take the world doing it together, because if China's okay and India is not okay, it's not good.
Yeah.
If India is good and America is not, if India is good and America is not good, that's not good. We need the whole world to become balanced. And once everyone gets on the same page and move as one, that's when it's going to change. Me personally, I feel like all of the world leaders, they all need to meet. They need to sit down and they need to meet, and they all need to get on the same page, because this isn't going anywhere. It's not going to stop. It's not going to just stop because one government creates a formula and a platform. When the numbers are rising the way it's rising, you need help. You need more. You need reinforcement. When you look at Italy, the way how Italy started to the numbers started to go up, the way how it went up, it was crazy. You look at how many. I posted a video so people can really understand and see, like, yo, look, this is real. It's like these are caskets inside of a parking lot. Like, if you can't understand that, yes, I understand that the flu killed this amount of people, but this is killing people right now in real time. Yes, the flu can take people out, influenza, things that we know of that have killed people. But right now, when you look at what's happening, you saying, okay, this is something new and what's going on, and there's all of these other theories. Okay, I got what, people got theories about other things that may be killing people from other than the coronavirus. But the coronavirus is something that does kill people. It does spread. It does kill people in essence. I mean, I'm not an expert and I don't proclaim to be one, but this is what's happening, and this is what's going on from the strain that people are speaking and talking about from the experts. So I think now, as a whole, all of the leaders around the world, they gotta come together and they gotta sit down and they gotta strategize and come up with one plan, right? It can't be a whole every country plan. That's not gonna work for mankind on Earth. If we want to get in front of this virus, me personally, what I believe, I could be wrong. I can be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just thinking from what I've been seeing and what I've been experiencing, from hearing what I've been hearing, and listening to this leader and listening to that leader and listening to the people, the experts. You understand what I'm saying? From hearing all of what I've been hearing, there's only one way to do it, and that's together.
1000%. I totally agree with you. And, speaking of being together and camaraderie and something that you're an expert in, you're an expert at, being one of the greatest basketball players to grace this planet. So what was that experience like for you coaching this season?
I mean, it's been great. It was challenging. Um, at the beginning, I really didn't want to do it. I mean, I had
You
a
didn't want to
real
coach?
no. When I said I didn't want to do it, I didn't want to do it when they asked me to do it. I wanted to
Okay.
like chill for like 2 or 3 years, and then, you know what I'm saying. But I was told, as I told somebody, when the food comes out and it's cold, nobody likes eating cold food. So, one of my mentors, he was like, Chinese guy, he was like, Steph, at the end of the day, you're right out of it. This is the best time to do it. And I was like, all right, it might be time to do it. As some of the leaders of basketball, they were suggesting that coaching would be a good thing right now. So I took on the challenge, and it's a lot of work. Um, it's a lot of teaching. You become a father, you become a psychiatrist, you become a variety of different things that you wouldn't expect. So you see the other side of the coin. And for me, being able to see these guys transform from one space to the next space, whether it's their shooting, whether it's their passing, or whether it's their consistency, which is what I coach. I coach consistency. I coach and teach, and I train for them to work as hard as they can so that they can focus and stay in the zone to play a certain style in a certain way and how they play, not asking them to do what it is that I feel like they should do, but get their maximum in how they play, but stay consistent. And that's what I get on them when I stay on them about when they get on the court. Like if you go, the way you practice is the way you're going to play in the game. And if you practice with a focus and you have this energy that leads to you feeling dominant from you practicing and working, because practice doesn't make perfect, it only makes permanent. You know what I'm saying? So when you go on the court and you get on the court and you practice and you go on the court and you do these things that you normally do that you're comfortable with, and you do it at a speed and a pace. When you get in the real game, it's easy, and they're starting to understand that. And for my Chinese players to understand that, and for my foreign players to understand that, it's pretty rewarding in coaching.
Yeah, seeing one of the, just the legacy of yours and your longevity in the basketball world. One of the best basketball movies ever made, He Got Game, was it was about your life. You know what I mean? Like, and I think people don't understand that.
Nah, they don't. It wasn't all the way true, but it had a lot of truth in it and what was going on. And them doing it at Lingen. It's cool that Spike could create what he created because it was done with. I mean, Denzel Washington. That's my favorite actor. You had one of the best, if not the best ever, to do it. And Ray Allen. I mean, he did an amazing job. A cool dude from my class. So he put John Wallace, Travis Best. I mean, the team of people that they had in doing the movie was pretty cool.
That's so dope. And speaking of, movies and docs, you have one of your own coming out, Kid from Coney Island, April 7th. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what that entails?
It's truth. A Kid from Coney Island is truth. It speaks and it touches on um, a kid who grew up in a place that evolved and moved to another space on the earth 7,000 miles away. So it has a full story. It's honest, the documentary. It has its ups, it has its downs. It's very colorful. It was done, it was produced by Forrest Whitaker, which is, he's highly regarded in the film industry as
Absolutely.
the best ever. Oscar winner, Nina Bon Jovi, the producer of Dope, Iron Brothers, Fruitville Station, Cody and Chige, Cootie, I always say Cootie and Chige. Um, they created the Kanye West platform out the storm and creating a video that was epic. So you had all of these brilliant minds who participated in this. I had my friend Moon Cricket, um, Beto Lopez, who shot me while I was in China at the end. He got amazing content for people to see at the end of my career. So this was a collab of a variety of people, and my family members, they all spoke truth. See, the best thing about the documentary, it's so true because my sisters and my brother, they just because they're my brothers, they speak and they tell it like it is because they want people to understand the evolvement. They want people to understand that yes, this is what we're saying is what got him where he is right now. What he did was part of us speaking to you now is what we spoke to him, and that right there is you can't beat that.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. And having everybody just being able to give their testimony while telling yours is amazing. And I look at this from the doc series to being the president of the Seven Stars Investment and creating basketballs and you're coaching. And I see some of the balls in the background, the glow up game. You sent me a few. I appreciate you, fam. What else is on the horizon for you?
I mean, right now I'm just I'm taking it day by day. Coaching right now is the most important thing. That's where all my energy is put forth. Um, I'm focused on trying to do something that's never been done in this organization, and that's going to the playoffs. You know, we were the last place team last year. Right now, we're the 8th place team. We're 19 and 11. We've never been. They've always been under 500. So to be in this position right now is really good for the organization. It shows that we've taken huge steps, um, and we're building a culture here. We're building a mentality, a style. My motto is play hard, play smart, play together. If you leave it on the court, I'm cool. You know, my players, they know. I'm really strict. I'm really tough on them, and it pays off. You know, I was gone for as long as I was gone. I left January 22nd. I came back uh, March 11th, and when I went back to practice, I gotta say my guy Corey Harris, he just my assistant coach. He did an amazing job while we were gone, and I came back and my guys were amazing. Like they were so sharp after being off for so long. And we got a group chat, and I posted in the group chat. I said, I don't care what y'all do, y'all better be in shape. That's one thing y'all better be, because if you're in shape, you can adjust. You know what I'm saying? It's when you're not in shape that's when it's hard. It's harder for you to get on the court and do the things that you're asked to do.
That's major, man. And I gotta tell you, I think we was out there in China. What was it, 2 years ago? And it was me, Dr. J, Sam Perkins,
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
guys, and they
yeah.
told us that look,
That's the
they're
last
doing
time
something for Steph bro. We rushed over, and we were so pleased just to see you in that light and to see you get the flowers while you still could smell them, man. And Dr. J was so excited just to embrace you in that moment. And when you gave your speech. You mentioned all of us. I didn't even know. That's your point guard skills right there. I didn't even know that you saw us in the back
no doubt.
in the
No
midst of the
doubt.
crowd, man. But you saw us. You gave us all an amazing shout out, man. And I just want to let you know, King, that I'm proud of you. Keep trailblazing. Keep doing your thing, bro. And stay safe out there.
Thank you, my brother. Love.
Yeah, 100, fam. Appreciate you.